1370 WOCA.
Ocala. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control.
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Joe Reichel is in the studio, getting ready to answer your questions about any damage that might have occurred to your home. Maybe it's something small. Maybe it's something you're trying to fix on your own. Joe's here to answer your questions about what you might need to know to fix whatever's broken. Maybe advice on a tool, advice on a product of some sort, or maybe it's bigger than what you can handle, and Joe will give you advice on who to call. And one of those people might just be Joe. Joe at Damage Control Services. Joe Reichel is here. Good morning. The phone number is 622-9622. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. And it is a call-in show, so if you have questions,
that's what it's about.
Feel free to call in, and we'll see if we can't answer those for you. Questions regarding construction-related things, fires, floods. That's
Can't ask you about killing a boar?
Well, you could ask me about that, yeah. You could ask me hunting questions.
That looked like a pretty big pig.
It was.
Where
decent.
was that? Where were you?
Out towards Fort McCoy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you went hunting for boar specifically?
Actually, I was deer hunting. It's this past weekend was the opening of general gun hunting. So.
Oh, any animals is up for grabs.
Deer specifically.
Oh, really? But you got a boar. How big was it? And let me guess, 600 pounds.
No.
No?
No, that was more like about 160 pounds.
It looked huge.
It's all in the angle of the photography.
Wow. Have you ever seen the movie Beasts of the Southern Wild?
No.
It looked like that one.
Okay.
It looked like the beast from the Beasts of the Southern Wild.
So we can talk hunting if you want. You ever been hunting, Larry?
I've never been hunting.
Hunting is a lot of fun if you want to get out and really enjoy nature.
I would never go hunting. I would go hunting with a camera.
I got way more mosquitoes than I did anything else, though. So
they got you mean?
Yeah, lots of them. Well, I got them too. I was.
See, I'm a
back.
hypocrite. I'm a very big hypocrite.
Okay.
Because I will eat meat.
Okay.
But I will not kill it. So
there's nothing wrong with that.
Really?
No.
Do you feel okay with that?
Well,
I'm basically a city guy, you know. Even though I live in Ocala the last
hunting isn't for
decades.
everybody, but you know, it's more about getting out and enjoying the outdoors than anything else.
Right. So I could do it with a camera.
There you go. I take a lot more pictures than I do anything else. So
but you have the pig and it's in your freezer now?
Not yet.
No. Oh, but it
he's
will
at
be.
the butcher shop. He will be. He's at the butcher shop right now getting taken care of.
So I think that's the way God planned it. I think certain animals are here, unfortunately, for their sake. But I like if I find roaches in my house, for example, and I shake them out, whatever, on the porch, whatever. The little lizards, they will eat them. So I said, well, that's just the way.
You just leave them that way? You leave them?
God made them that way.
Right.
The lizards love it. It's like throwing cookies to them.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Lizards come out. Blah, blah, blah.
So speaking of critters in your house, one of the biggest jobs that we've got right now is termite. It's a termite job.
That's not good.
No. The termites aren't there currently, but they got into this house, caused a tremendous amount of damage. And I have clients a lot of times, people call me about termite damage. They know they've had termites in their home. You know, there's really no idea, no way of knowing how much damage is there until you go in to repair it and you start tearing it apart. And this house, unfortunately, is a lot more damage than what they believe to be there.
And so, I'm guessing it could literally cause a house to collapse, a roof to fall in, for example.
It could.
Yeah.
It could. And that's where, you know, the integrity of this house is completely gone. We've had to have an engineer come in and spec out, architect and engineer, as far as rebuilding what it would take to get everything back to the way it should be. So we're taking entire walls down. I've got pictures to post about that. So
when you have a weight supporting wall that has to come down, do you put, I'm guessing you have to put something up to temporarily support the weight?
Yes, and that's where the engineer came in, and you know, we had to build walls to support the roof system in order for things not to collapse in this house.
Okay.
And that's where, you know, the way homes are built, a lot of times you have beams and things that are put together in order to span certain windows or doors. They're called headers. In this one, it's a 3-ply header that is completely termite eaten. So we've had to take it all out, build a wall inside to support the weight, and now we'll work on rebuilding the exterior wall and putting everything back.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. That sounds like is it a dangerous job? When knowing that the
not necessarily dangerous. In the form of things might fall down. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, you have a temporary weight.
Once the temporary wall's put in place, everything is secured, and nothing's going to happen.
Is it difficult having a temporary wall in the way? Is it in the way?
Sometimes it can be in the way of construction, but a lot of times, and that's where, like this home, for example, when you have a lot of demolition, anytime you have demolition, you have a lot of dust. So when we put a temporary wall up like that, we can wrap the rest of that wall. We can put a visqueen barrier or plastic barrier over that so that the dust isn't going into the rest of the house too. So it works as a way to confine, minimize the amount of cleanup that's needed and confine the dirt, and also as a support.
You mentioned termites, and you mentioned how you are working to repair them. So now that you've got us scared, at the risk of naming a company, and I'm just curious, what would you recommend to A, have it inspected so that we know we don't have termites, and B, to prevent getting them? What do we do?
Well, your termite treatment from a pest control, any one of them, as long as they do termite treatment, that's your best bet there. And here in Florida, we've got termites. We've got them everywhere. If you have a tree fall in your yard and it's out there, laying out there, you're going to have termites come within a minimal amount of time, come to that wood and start eating it. So your best bet is to have your home treated yearly with a termite company,
right?
And be on the lookout always for damage caused by termites. It looks a lot, you can Google that termite damage. You can see on the outside of drywall, a lot of times you'll see the little mud, dirt collecting, and that's the
telltale sign.
That's a telltale sign. You'll also be able to see a lot of times you can see the wood. It looks like it's been eaten away, and that's another sign of it. A lot of times, if you for some reason you might pull back some paneling or drywall or something, and you can see the studs have been basically shredded, is what they'll look like.
Right. Do you know what you just reminded me of? There was a story out of Mississippi. I had to look it up. I couldn't remember where it was. It was in a parking lot of an IHOP. Did you see this story?
I did not.
A 15-foot deep trench collapsed, and 12 cars fell into the hole that opened up.
What part of what I was talking about reminded you of this?
Because the roots from the roots from an old tree.
Oh, really?
Yeah, had disintegrated, and I was just wondering. I wonder if that was maybe termite. Would termites go under? Like they?
Well, termites are in the ground, so they'll eat whatever's in the dirt. As far as rotten wood and stuff, and that's what they're always looking for. That, so they're traveling.
So apparently, when they built this parking lot, they must have had a tree there. They cut it down.
Crazy.
Probably paved over it, and then eventually the wood either rotted or perhaps got eaten by termites.
That's pretty crazy.
Could be. Let's go to the phone. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe. Are you there? Nobody there. Nobody
False call.
Nobody there, Joe.
You scared them away.
Here we go. Yeah, the termites did, not me. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Well, you only scared me for a few seconds there. My termite company that I work with, they come every year, and the guy comes that checks the house. He comes in the house, and I don't know, with a screwdriver or whatever it is, but he taps everywhere to hear. I don't know what he's listening for, hollowness or whatever it is. And but they only treat the house every 5 years outside with Thermatex or Thermador or whatever it's called.
Thermador. Probably.
Because you were saying every year it should be treated, but they only they suggest every 5 years they give it another shot of the liquid.
Right, and that depends on what kind of system that you have, whether or not as far as how often they're going to be able to be coming in to do that treatment and everything. So I'm sure some of them are different, but they will come and they do a yearly inspection and make sure everything's okay. But I mean, that's usually, and it's usually set up on a payment plan where you're paying yearly for that treatment or for that service.
Do they like to eat like drywall too, besides wood?
They will eat the paper on the drywall. They won't eat the paper on the exterior behind the drywall. They'll eat all of that.
Yeah, and what about like concrete blocks and stuff? That's just too much for them, right?
They won't eat concrete, although somebody was telling me that there is a termite that will eat that, so I don't know about that. But wood is typically the termite that, or the desired
buffet
dinner, buffet for termites. So wood products.
Well, every home, every building's got wood somewhere, so
typically
termites are having a field day down here.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to make sure that you don't have, what you have around your home as far as the elevation. If you have where the dirt, is up too high, termites will get in. So, well, we're up to the commercial break.
Are they more active certain times of the year?
I think in the spring, but I don't really know for sure on that. That's a great question.
Okay, Joe, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll take a little break. Be right back. If you want to call in, you're welcome to do that. The number is 622-9622. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, times of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm in spots, the high 82 to 86. For tonight, partly cloudy with lows ranging from the upper 50s in a few inland spots to the upper 60s along the coast. Partly sunny tomorrow, high 81 to 85. Thursday, mostly sunny and warm, the high 83 to 87. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, The Source.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood, and when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then, I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Picking up the honey baked ham is the official start of the holidays for me.
Oh, honey baked ham is the best tasting ham ever.
Oh, I love that sweet, crunchy glaze.
And it's easy to serve.
Leftover sandwiches and football.
It's tradition.
Smoked bone-in ham, tender, sweet, crunchy. That's the tradition.
Oh, you know they serve turkey too.
I love honey baked.
I just got mine.
Visit your Honey Baked Ham store and cafe, open 7 days at 2709 Southwest 27th Avenue behind Best Buy near Regal Theater.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
All right, 11 minutes before 11 o'clock. Nice looking Tuesday morning. Joe Reichel is here to answer your questions about your home repair needs. And the phone number is 622-9622. One story we're not reporting is a hurricane. There's a hurricane.
Tropical storm Kate.
Kate, yeah. It's going
She's
the other
going
way.
to stay away.
Yeah.
She was slightly something to be concerned about slightly.
Very
and
short period of time, yeah.
The cold pressure system pushed her back out. So
Yeah. So that's okay.
That's good news for us.
Should be a nice weekend.
Should be.
Nice week. We got the whole week to go still. We don't want to live for the weekend, as the rock and roll song says.
No, we don't.
No, we got to live each day, one day at a time.
But still, we need to be prepared for them just in case.
Yeah.
So do you have your to-go bags ready just in case we do get a tropical storm or a hurricane, because we do live in Florida and never know when one might come this way.
That November 30th deadline is misleading. There's nothing in nature that will abide by that rule. They say the hurricane season goes from June 1st through November 30th or something like that.
Right. Well, that's typically when the ideal weather conditions are for hurricanes.
But they don't care. The hurricanes don't care.
Hurricane doesn't care. You're right.
December 2nd, no, I don't care.
But if the weather's not right, they're not going to come into a tropical storm or into a hurricane.
Do you know, we were talking about the damage caused by falling tree limbs, not just trees, but a limb. Even a small limb can put a hole in your roof.
Oh yeah, a limb, if it falls just right, can puncture the home, and you'll have I mean, I've seen holes the size of a quarter up to, baseball size because of a limb puncturing.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, they're not little. They're not soft.
And it depends how it hits and whatnot.
Do you ever see a video, I'm sure you have, of a skydiver whose parachute messes up or something, and he lands in the tree? As he's falling through those branches, he's being hurt.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of weight to that wood. So if it falls off and falls on your house,
yes, it's strong.
Obviously going to cause a problem.
Cause some damage.
Yeah.
And that's where, if you're going to be doing some sort of trimming of leaves or trimming of limbs and whatnot over a home or around structures in your yard, you want to be really careful if you're doing that. So, because a tree can turn on you and fall and do a lot of damage.
Anybody taking the cooler days to build like decks and things like that? So okay, now it's getting cooler, let's use the outdoor time to build something so we can enjoy it in the summer.
Not necessarily. One project that we had last week was a handicap ramp that was on a deck. So they had stairs, and getting older, so they needed to have a easier to get up, and not quite needing it yet, but the knees, it made it a lot easier getting in and out of the home with a ramp versus stairway.
Right.
So we were able to build a ramp for them to access the house.
Oh wow! Now, would you do that just for that reason? Like if somebody called you and said, "Look, I need some steps built, or I need a ramp built"?
Yeah, we do all kinds of projects like that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep, decks and steps or ramps. Yeah.
This is what I need. I need some steps. I think I told you I tried to. Take an old frame.
One thing we've never done was, like a fireman's pole. We've never installed one of them. That would be kind of cool to get out of your house.
Yeah, except I wouldn't.
Or a slide.
Fit.
A slide would be cool.
If it went underneath my house and I had to get out, that would be rough.
We have installed spiral staircases. Those were kind of cool. Went from first floor to a second floor.
That is crazy.
That was kind of fun.
Have you ever tried to move somebody's furniture when they live in one of those places? Oh my gosh, they're horrible.
Not. This was kind of just like a second staircase in a home, so it was kind of.
Oh, so there was an alternate way.
Yeah, there was a regular. This was like kind of like.
Oh my gosh.
The kids' entrance or whatever out the back.
I helped a friend move up into one of those areas and had to carry mattresses and furniture. It was like unbelievable, and he wanted the piano up there. I said, no way.
Yeah, that's not really going to happen going up that way.
He did it a different way. He brought it up through the window, something. That would be a tough thing, wouldn't it? I mean, where would you put the pulleys? You'd have to put the pulleys someplace is strong enough to hold things, right?
For a piano?
Yeah, because what they did is they put pulleys somehow on the beams.
Oh wow!
I don't know how they did it, and then they pulled it up through a window.
That's crazy. That's where you definitely get a moving company to help with something like that.
Yeah, I think piano movers are us.
There are professional movers that do pianos, but most of your moving companies anyway are going to be able to do that. And that's if you had to move a piano, that's one thing you want to make sure they know how to do that properly.
Yeah.
And they're insured against damage.
Have you ever seen these? Or maybe you were the one who showed it to me. The staircases that double as storage spaces.
Yeah, like underneath them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, each stair is a drawer.
Actually, I have seen those. I don't know that I showed it to you.
Okay.
But I mean, that's always good to use. We did one time. There was cabinets underneath a stairway, and it was in a separate room.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stairs went up the other side, and they had cabinets, and we built. They had doors, and we put regular cabinet doors with drawers that they could use for storage, and it really enhanced the, you know, and trimmed it out. When it was done, it looked almost like it could be a fireplace, because it had a mantle that they could put pictures on, and, you know, fancy trim around it. It was really pretty.
Do you know, I was reading something that the average homeowner has like 12 to 15 square feet extra room now because of the flat screen TVs hanging on the wall.
Oh, wow.
I guess the old TVs that used to sit on the floor, that was a big piece of furniture.
Right.
So I don't know how you use that. I mean, it's like 12 to 15 extra square feet that you can use for something else, or just to have more room.
Well, and that's why the trend nowadays is going to smaller homes. People are able to, you know, tiny houses are a big trend.
Are they really?
Yeah. A lot of people are downsizing. They don't need as much space. And
let me ask you this. I have a question about what do you call modular homes?
Okay.
Why are modular homes, and this is more of an insurance question, why are they insured differently than like a regular block or a regular frame home?
Well, modular homes are built differently, and a lot of times the way they're put together is a different type of construction. They're built on site and then brought in and assembled. So I'm sure it's the construction style that causes the difference. I would guess.
So is it similar to what a mobile home is? Is a modular home similar to a mobile home? As far as the way
I don't think a modular home has wheels.
But I mean without the wheels. But I mean it's the.
I don't really know. I'm guessing. I mean, I know they're built as a unit and brought in and assembled as a, you know, different. A goes to B.
Yeah.
B goes to C.
Yeah. And because I know somebody who's considering it.
Okay.
And somebody was talking him out of it because of insurance not necessarily being. You can't really get good insurance for a modular home.
I don't know the correct answer to that, and I would recommend talking to.
There's a pretty lady you know who knows all about this stuff.
A pretty lady I know. There's several pretty ladies I know that know all about this stuff, and you know, if that was something. You know, like anything, do your research ahead of time before you jump into it, and don't let one person's opinion sway you one way or the other.
Yeah, don't let anything I say sway you.
Well, I mean, you know,
asking.
here we go. If, you know, somebody's friend was telling them that they can't get insurance or insurance isn't as good, I wouldn't go with that unless they were an insurance agent.
Well, that's it, you know, because if a tree falls on your modular home, you want it to be fixed just as much as if it falls on your what do you call it? Frame home.
Oh yeah, a site-built home, and that's where even a mobile home, you've got, you know, insurance for that. So yes, they are all different. So it really depends. Here again, it depends your wants. You know, you've got to consider your wants, your needs, and your budget.
And
so when you put all that together.
And is it fair to say that the big message in all of that last 5 minutes of what we just said is insurance? Just because if your house has damage from one thing or another,
no matter what it is,
chances are you're gonna
make sure that you know what your coverages are. That's the most important thing.
That's got to be one of the first questions you need answered when you're getting ready to fix a house, right? What kind of insurance do you have, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you have any other questions, hopefully you don't have damage, have a disaster, but if you do, feel free to call me. It's 352-817-6574, or you can email me directly, joe@damageflorida.com.
Get one of those magnetic business cards.
They come in two forms.
That's right. A ticket for a happy day.
That's right.
Thank you, Joe. That was fun.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
I'm Lillian Wu. The Justice Department mulling over its options after a challenge to the president's executive order on immigration.